let's pivot to Dolton. So there's so much still going on with Dolton. I wanna get your understanding of Cassandra Hopson Jordan. She is also running for mayor. Now, I was supposed to interview her, had it set up. I don't know what happened. She just disappeared. She
Yeah.
said she wanted to do it. We had a day set up. She didn't do it. I don't know her, so it's no diss to her, no diss. If she changed her mind, it's all good.
Hmm.
But I wanted to understand who she is and where she kind of fits in the landscape. I know that now here's what's weird. Let me ask you this and then I'm gonna let you rock with it.
Hmm.
So I know that your position was that she was a plant.
She is a plant.
And that's initially, honestly, that's how we got into the conversation. The
Hmm.
last interview we did, she went and she commented and she did not like to be called a plant.
Absolutely.
So I said, okay, I thank you for your comment. I love to interview you to understand because I don't know her. I don't
Right.
know of her. And even outside of me, when I go and look at the Hannibals and all the other YouTubers who are talking about it, I don't know of them talking to her.
No.
So I know Jedediah interviewed her,
Hmm.
and I watched his interview to understand anything about her because our interview was set to be 2 days after that. And like I said, when I went to confirm the day of, she just didn't respond. I
Hmm.
have her cell number. I text her. I emailed her. No response. So at some point, she decided not to do it. But point being is that I wanted to understand, since I couldn't understand from her, I want to understand where does she fit in because you have Tiffany Henyard, you have Jason House. I think Jason House, to me, looks obviously to be the best person to be the mayor of Dalton
Absolutely.
based on how he's handled himself. And he's also provided clarity as far as the things he doesn't agree with. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? I'm a very logical person, so I look for that. Now,
Hmm.
Cassandra Hobson Jordan, she didn't like being called a plant, but what I do want to understand from you is that apparently Tiffany Henyard was trying to keep her off the ticket, from what I understand.
Okay.
And I guess she fought to be on the ticket or whatever the
She
case is.
did.
So are they allies or not allies? Because
So
if
what
you're
they're
saying,
doing is
let me know.
they're playing a game, right? Tiffany had all of her henchmen, so Demarcus, Keith Price, and Michael Smith, objecting petitions. So Demarcus actually was the objector to Cassandra's ticket. He was objected
Okay.
to her trustee ticket, and he also objected the clerk, the current clerk, Jason's, Kiana's, Brittany, and he objected their petitions as well. So with Cassandra, her trustee, I don't know if you paid attention, is a guy named Denasha. I don't know his last name, but he's the guy that said he come from the West Side. Now,
This is for her ticket.
for her ticket. So she had one trustee on her ticket. So with Denasha, if you pay attention, he just recently started coming to the meetings because the first time he said he was running for trustee, he came and found me and was like, "Hey, I've been looking for you. I heard you the bad one. Like you always have something to say. Something, he was just saying a little stupid shit." So
Yeah.
I actually figured out who he was very early on when he started coming. And then all of a
Hmm.
sudden, because he announced that he was running for trustee the first time he came to a meeting, all of a
Hmm.
sudden she started coming out saying she was running for mayor. So they always try and act like they don't know Tiffany and Tiffany Goons, like when they're at the meetings, because they don't want it to be obvious that they know her and that they're cool with
Well,
her.
and just to pause you right there for a
Uh,
second, just for clarity, when about did she decide to run? Because that's why I was so interested because to me, only people I saw was Hanyard and House.
right.
And I didn't see anybody else in
So
that mix, and all of a sudden she was there. So
she was thrown into the mix. I say about 8 meetings ago, about 7 or 8 meetings ago, she came out and said that she was running as supervisor.
okay,
I mean, as for mayor. And
okay,
same thing with Denasha. He said it first.
okay.
So he came out first and said that he was running for trustee. And then she came out like a meeting or two later after him and also voiced her opinion on that she's running for mayor. Now, the crazy thing about her is when she came to the trustees meeting that was at the Dalton Park District, when she came out and said she was running for mayor, she started attacking the trustees. Now, you know as well as anybody know that anything that's going on in the village of Dolton, the day-to-day operations, the trustees are not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? So you have problems with water bills, anything else that concerns your taxes. That's not the trustee's job to actually, you know, respond to you on those issues. That's really Keith Freeman's job. So
Right.
she went in on the trustees. Every time she comes to the meeting, she always say that they not doing what they supposed to do, but she
Okay.
doesn't understand the trustee role. Now, the reason why I say she's a plant is
Yeah,
because
that's what I wanted to ask you. Tell us why. Why is she a plant?
she is a plant because of the way that she just popped up. And all, if you notice, when they talk, all of them say they from the west side of Chicago, right? Not saying that all people from the west side is with Tiffany. However, when she came about and started talking, she never ever said anything disparaging about the mayor. Now, if you're running against Tiffany Henyard and that's your opponent, then why are you only mad and bashing the trustees when the trustees' job is just to balance the budget, to make sure that what is getting spent is the proper things that they approved, right?
Yes.
So she knows that. But I'll go a step further. When she added Danasha as her trustee, remember I told you he said he was running for trustee first, right? If you pay attention to the Thornton Township meetings, or even the meetings that we had at the Village of Dolton, he started popping up to every meeting. He started going to the township meetings. When he goes to the
Right.
township meetings, him and Tiffany Henyard walks out together. They're friends. They're friends.
Okay.
You may remember this resulted in Tiffany Henyard being denied a place on the ballot for re-election as township supervisor, something she's fighting, calling it illegal. But a Henyard ally used nearly identical reasoning to try to get one of the candidates running against Henyard in the Dolton mayoral race off the ballot, Cassandra Hopson Jordan.
It's about democracy and it's about hypocrisy.
I really think it's very hypocritical.
But that objection dropped in Village Hall today by the petitioner, an ally of Mayor Henyard's, to much less fanfare. Mayor Henyard not present.
I wasn't surprised.
Hopson Jordan now officially representing the Rebuilding Dolton Party. And this decision means you will be on the ballot in April.
And yes, it does. And may the best person win.
Hopson Jordan will be on the general election ballot here.
I am in this race. It's about the people. It's not about me, but it's about the people.
She will be up against whoever wins the Democratic nominee, current Mayor Henyard or current Dolton Village trustee Jason House.
Let me ask you. So I'm following this, but what I want to
Mm-hmm.
understand is why did Tiffany? Is it true that Tiffany tried to keep
She
Hobson
did.
Jordan off
Well,
the ticket?
technically, it wasn't Tiffany. It was Demarcus Quigley, right? Demarcus Quigley was the objector to their petitions. What Demarcus did was, at the last minute, he dropped his objections so that Cassandra could still run in the election and be on the ballot. So, what Tiffany's trying to do is split the vote. Split the vote. So, if she could split the vote, and but the thing about it is, Cassandra is going to have to be a runout for the primaries. So the February vote is going to be with Jason and Tiffany. So whoever wins that vote, then Cassandra will go up against that person in
She's going to
August.
run against them. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So that's Tiffany's last ditch effort to try and get still remain having some type of power in Dalton by getting
And
Cassandra in.
Is Cassandra affiliated with a political party? Is she
She's running, I think, as an independent.
as independent?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason why she was able to get her own trustees, her and Danasha. But
Okay.
if you pay attention to the meetings and if you pay attention to who they talk to while they're at the meetings, you know that they are with Tiffany and her team. Especially Danasha, it is because he gets out, he talks about he claps when Tiffany comes in.
Now
Like
I
when
gotta
we're
play
at the
devil. I gotta
township
play devil's
meetings.
advocate, Viv. I gotta play
Yes.
devil's advocate. So if you're saying that she's a plant, then are you saying that she really doesn't have any intention on being mayor for the most part?
Listen, when she did that interview with Jed, First off, she talked about what she do for work. She has like 3 jobs, and she talked about how busy she is and how much how little time she have to even do normal things. She talks about how she works for Lurie's Children's Hospital, which I find that unbelievable. When it's on Jed's post, because I asked her questions about her interview, she puts radiation down. Another person that's trying to taunt me about my illness because I went through radiation. That's fine though. But she the first thing she said when he asked her, what would you do if you came in as mayor? She said, I would just give it to the state.
Right.
And
I,
then
I
he
did
said,
I did
what on
watch
your
that too.
first day, on your first day of duties, what would you do? I don't even drink. I would just take a shot. Who the what? You don't have a plan, ma'am.
Yeah.
You haven't said anything about Tiffany Henyard's leadership or what you're trying to change from Tiffany Henyard's leadership, because those are not your talking points, because you're really running because Tiffany Henyard asked you to.
Okay.
And but not only that, you talk about the residents and how you forced them to start their own block club and then how they left you out. Sounds like you a bully too. The things that she said to me when I even replied to her, mind you, I didn't even go in on this lady. I have common sense, so I'm just replying to what your interview is stating, and I'm just letting you know that you have no real focus points on actually being the manager, or not the manager, but the mayor of Dolton. How can you be the mayor of Dolton and you have no real vision? You have no real goals. It's not even about her being a plant. It's about you not being qualified and not being ready for that seat. You just start coming to the meetings. So if you don't have like a real dialogue with someone on what you want to do when you come in there, I'm just gonna give it to the state. No, give us a plan. What you gonna do until the state take it over? Like she
Well,
doesn't make
in
sense.
addition to that, Viv, I watched the interview with the
Mm-hmm.
same mindset. I wanted to know who she is and kind of understand, because there's a lot of high stakes. You're not coming into a town that's already running smoothly. You're
Right.
coming into a town where it's almost like if you inherited a country who was
Bankrupt.
bankrupt and into depression. You can't be the average president. You got to come in with some real, like, we
With
about
some
to
real
dig ourselves.
plans.